those people who would have to, sit and then wait for the new family to, help them with documentation, or maybe when it comes to the process of the documentation, they help them to do that. But today, that is what we are discussing in the studio. And if you want to join us, go to Facebook, MyCTVGH, Facebook MyCTVGH. We are streaming live there and on YouTube too as well. So join us, and we are going to open the lines along the conversation so that you put your thought through. If you don't understand anything, just like those I met yesterday at the funeral grounds, call us. We will help you with the conversation, with the answers that you require us to. Now, straight to our discussion. This judgment that has been passed, production team, if you can help me project this on the screen for fine courtesy of the viewers who don't know about it, those who don't know what is going on, those who don't know that there's a judgment that has been passed. This is on the screen, so that let's get to know more about what is happening when it comes to land matters in Ghana. Nuwamashi family, not owners of 72,000 acres. This was judged by the Supreme Court, and yenye lawyers the yesremu yakabibina yafomra mo fa yebon chain as media houses or as real estate TV education. We would like to also help people to bring to their doorstep some of this information, because not everybody that will be able to buy graphic, and you will be asked na obi ka wasama or no so benya kwan ate, and to take advantage and then do what? Learn today. Now, Mr. Anson, let's go straight. Now, what the court has said about this ruling, a lot of people don't really understand when it comes to the legalities of land. So let me ask this. The court's ruling, what does it entirely say before we get into the real estate aspect, the investment, real estate agent, and also brokers?
Okay, good evening once again. Thank you for the opportunity. I would like to say a big hi to Gareb members. They are the reason we are going up and down, and all the stakeholders, our family members as well. Now, looking from the publication of Daily Graphic.
Okay, so you are taking yours from Daily Graphic?
Daily Graphic, yes, Daily Graphic. This publication was on Tuesday, December 12th.
Okay.
Early morning, I have the app, so I normally go through.
Receive the notification.
Exactly, before I even go out. Now, reading it, my understanding was that it's more like change of ownership. That is the simple way to understand it. Now, I want to read a portion of the graphic publication.
Okay.
I mean, the second paragraph, it said, in its latest clarification, a five-member panel of the Apex Court, presided over by the Chief Justice, Justice Gertrude Araba Isaba Tokonu, affirmed that the Nuwamashi family of the Teshi could not claim ownership of the land because a Court of Appeals decision 1982, which declared them owners of the piece of land, was based on fraudulent information.
Okay, so this is projected well on the screen for kind courtesy of those just joining us. You are watching Siwudai on CTV. We do this and every Sunday from 4 o'clock p.m. to 5 o'clock p.m. Let's go.
The court, that is the third paragraph, therefore directed the Lands Commission to expunge all registration and certificate issued to Nuwamashi family of Teshi and the Tete Olenu family in respect of the 72,000 acres. The court also directed that all third parties in possession and deriving title through the Nuwamashi family prior to the latest Supreme Court judgment were to attain tenancy to the boys to and relevant families. Okay. So, what is it about? Until Supreme Court ruling for this subject matter, there was a court of appeal. There have been a struggle, a judgment from the High Court, which was appealed at the appeals court and still went in favor of the Numo Mashi family. And that has held until recent overturn of the Supreme Court. So what it's telling us is that now the court is saying that they shouldn't have been given the ownership rights.
Right.
So they have overturned the ownership right.
Okay.
Now, that is also not to say that all the transactions that they have done before this judgment are wrong, because the High Court is a court of competent jurisdiction, same as the Supreme Court. So legally, they had all the right to lease out land rightfully in their name until this judgment came. So the battles back and forth until Supreme Court is overturning this appeals court decision does not affect those who have acquired land from the Numo Mashi family before the Supreme Court ruling. So it is kind of change of ownership. So what is going to happen is that if you bought a land from the Numo Mashi family, you've done no wrong.
You've done no wrong.
Yes. Now what is going to happen is that there's regularization that you need to go and do, because now you have a new owner. So if your time is due to pay
your rent, your
ground rent, then you know your new owner is now in charge. Again, with regards to foreigners, especially, because they are entitled to maximum of 50 years of lease. It's possible some might have lesser lease period. Some could be 10 or even less than 10.
Yeah, because of maybe the states of the years, lease years left before the transaction.
Exactly. Yeah. So if they are to renew, okay, because there's always that window. The clause is there that after your tenure expires, you can go back and renew for a certain number of years. Yeah. Now with this ruling, you cannot go back to the Numo Mashi family again. Now you have to go to the boys' tool to do the regularization and renew your lease agreement with them. So in simple context, we say it's change of ownership.
Just like importing a car from whichever country you are importing from, and then bringing it to Ghana, paying your taxes, your clearance and everything, and then putting it in your personal name. That is the simple definition. If I will put it, will I put it that way?
Yes, you can.
Simple layman's definition, so that people will understand what exactly we are talking about.
Yes, simple layman definition. But you see, when it is a car is just a simple transfer. When you transfer a car, you transfer it forever. But with respect to this, let's say you are renting an apartment, okay, and then you have about 5 years, to live in the apartment. After a year or two, you are told that the house has been sold to a different person, okay. Now the agreement is that you need to
regularize your activity with a new owner.
With a new one. Okay, and so the understanding is that you have to complete your years. You have 5 years. You've done about 2 years. You are left with 3 years. Now you are told the house is no longer in the hands of the old person, the one who you had an agreement with. And so agreement has changed hands. And so if you want to continue living in the house after the said 3 years, then you need to go to the new owner who or
pay your rent to based
the one
on the
who
agreed.
Is good. That is what it means, because you are not moving. It's an asset that is not moving. It is
unless the new landlord says, "I don't want you again.
Exactly.
I'm exiting you,
exactly.
or I don't want you."
But what is good about this judgment is the fact that the Supreme Court recognized that there have been a lot of investment in the areas that has been affected. By this judgment. And so the judgment is not affecting those who have made those investments and say that go and move them out. No. Okay. So that is the good thing about this judgment.
Ebenezer Boji, anything to add up to that before we go for a quick commercial break? Production team, we'll go for a quick commercial break and then we'll be right back. Anything to add up?
Yes. So way back 1966, all this started.
1966?
Yeah, 1966.
Wow.
When the government procured some lands at Ajankoti Hills. So, you know, as the law says, the government can just take anyone's land and provide a fair compensation. So the government took the land and provided a fair compensation to the Brekusu chief. So that was where the Numomashi came up that no, they are not the right person or the right people to receive the compensation. So at that time it was just about 25 acre. Hey,
25,000 acre or
no, 25 acre. Yes.
Okay.
So that's what the government procured for public interest. So when it happened like that, then said, oh, issues started popping up. Then okay, where is your boundary? Which areas do you have jurisdiction over? So, and that's how it resulted to this 72,000
acres.
Yes. So people who have bought, as Jacob said, people who have bought the lands already from the Numomashi families, all that they have to do is regularization, as he said. But people who are, I would say, in transition period, still in the process of buying, those people, they have to halt. Because the courts ordered that they have to all certificates issued by Lands Commission declaring that the Numomashi owns those parcels of lands. It should be expunged. So it should be completely removed that they don't own that land. So it shouldn't be, it's not like it belongs to the new boy and it came to Numomashi and it has come to new boy.
Okay.
But it's completely removed that the land belongs to New Boy.
Yeah.
So people in that transition, I would say they should halt and they should rather deal with the Numomashi, the new owners, that's the New Boy and the related families. So if you have your document or indenture and you have the Numomashi giving you that indenture.
It means you have to go back.
You have to go back.
Because you don't have title.
Exactly.
Okay, so we will talk about investment that has gone on. At which step can one go to the new family, and at what step can we go to the old family? And at what step can there be a refund if you have paid money? Yes, if you have paid money to the old family, that's the Numomashi family. What refund can you get? Can you get refund actually if you have not finished paying your money, or you can't get refund, or you would have to use lawyers to get your money back? We'll talk about it after the quick commercial break. We'll be right back.
For me, now dream, baby, no be good for my head, oh. Bugger pan and it, you better me. Minya baby, I know one thing just to cool down my head, oh. So the bajai samai, the bottom ya sum tum, me come janai. Waka be banana recession, the visa say why. As one can be, so no can you guy. Maybe me don't my westy. Say what messy dying, and that should be messa, me chima be fear my betna. Me buy and no westy. What the missing can now worry buy. I can't believe say I can't make cool. I'm on the side, mama ya want the best I make go Romans when Jabby. send the voice notes.
Hello?
Yeah, hello?
Yeah, where's he?
Pull! I got you! You know, say. Now, I will check what's it. I hope I could. Who could switch up on Conasia and answer? Who could so wrong crown? Oh, can I call Miss Lucuso? I'm to be beer and done Messi, Mariana. It me so a cat a crabby. It is about 50,000. And mammy, now meeting found us in me.
All right, we're Matty.
Why? Mate. Bye. Okay. I see ya. Bumbocrats.
When you say, Baba.
Send the voice notes. Me for many be semunia groom my nigga. My clock the TikTok. Been waiting all day. Trying to be for me and I send the Uber. Canina me pens and I fed ya me bubuda. Eto da blue kiosk on a me buddha. Renya me shoddy get it. Give me home me kwesi dia ya nati. Makumo mi obiba. Me do ma kwesi. Say what me see da ina that be me sa me chima baby ya ma betra. Me buy na kwesi. What the me sick and now worry buy I get it. I jam makumo alright kumo. I can't believe say I can't make kumo. I'm on the side. Mama, you want the best of me go grow so when me I can't believe say I can't be cool. I'm on the side. Mama, you want the best of me go grow so when me yeah. Oh, I feel the bug of my embrace. Hey, bug of my embrace. The bug of my embrace.
Thank you so much, and let's welcome back from that quick commercial break. What we are discussing is the recent court judgment on the judgment awarded against the Numomashi family on the 72,000 acres of land in some selected parts of the greater Accra region. That is what we are discussing in the studio. My name is Osansini Odilia. And then I know most of you want to call. I know most of you want to phone in and bring your thoughts and contributions through. But please, I know we'll open the phone lines for all of you to call in so that you can be able to share your thoughts, your questions, so that we can be able to answer all for you. In the studio is Engineer Jacob Anson and then Ebenezer, helping us with a discussion on the topic or the subject for discussion. Now, I was talking about refund. If example, I have paid money to Numomashi family and this court judgment has been passed, does it mean that I have to go for my refund? I mean, am I entitled to go for a refund or not?
So is that you pay the money and
I paid some money.
And have you been allocated a plot?
Yes.
And they've given you receipts?
I'm giving an example. I've paid money,
okay.
Right? Maybe I've not finished paying money. Or I finished paying money, I've been allocated a plot. In this case, can I go for a refund? Because I don't have title. Okay,
so per the ruling, I'm not a lawyer, but I'm trying to understand.
Yes, we are trying to get the lawyers, but all of them are proving difficult.
Yeah, he said they acquired the land, like the judgment that they received in the past.
The payment was done before this judgment, this current judgment.
Yeah, I'm driving at something.
Yeah.
Per the ruling by the Supreme Court, it's like the people, the Numomashi, the areas that they've been able to cover, claiming ownership, it was through fraudulent acts by their surveyor. That's what the report we are reading from Daily. Come again.
That's what the report states.
Yeah, that's what the report is saying. Yeah. So if that is the case, and you've paid money to them, so the court is not even recognizing them as the owner.
And so you have paid money wrongly?
Yes.
So you have the right to go for your money?
You can just deal with them directly and get your money back.
Okay.
Yes.
Samson, is that possible?
Let us also look at it from this point. Like I said earlier on, until this ruling, there have been a judgment which has been affirmed by an appeals court not once, about twice or thrice. And it gives them the legitimate ownership rights. Okay, so like I'm saying, until this ruling, they have every right to sell their properties. And documents obtained from them is well recognized.
Okay.
So it's a bit dicey here. If you have done part payment and your transaction is not completed yet, as to whether you should go for your money or you should continue, now we can only say that you did not pay the money to the wrong person. Now the court is saying that they are not the owners, and they are ordering Lands Commission to expunge their name from their records.
Yeah.
But let me also repeat something in that same judgment, that in paragraph 3 of the graphic publication.
Okay, paragraph 3. Production team, let's please project the high term on the publication on the screen for people to join us. Paragraph 3.
So
paragraph 3.
It reads, the court also directed that all third parties in possession and deriving title through the Numu Mashi family prior to the latest Supreme Court judgment were to atone tenancy to the boy, stool, and relevant families. So the Supreme Court is recognizing the fact that they were legal owners until their ruling. And so once they have directed the Lands Commission to expunge their name, okay, what happens to those who have taken properties from them? And the court is saying that now their new owners are the boy family. And so every transaction should be through the boy family. So if already you are in the process, it will be difficult for the Numu Mashi family to reverse whatever transaction. Okay? And we leave this, if you are in this situation, I think there should be a lawyer involved as to how to handle this from at this point. In fact, it's a very dicey situation here. Because they did not take your money illegally.
As at that time, they were the legal owners.
But from the day of the ruling, they are not the owners again. Okay. So until your document is completed, the date that will be on the document will be after the ruling. Okay. That is where it's dicey. And I think the lawyers will be in the best position to answer this.
Now, let's go to the areas where the areas in question that are mentioned, Production team, we have the other documents. If you can please project the other documents on the screen for us for the purpose of our discussion, so that as soon as we are done with this, we can open the phone lines for people to join us with their thoughts and their questions. Keep your WhatsApp comments coming through as well with your questions, so that if we are unable to open the phone lines for a longer time, we can read your WhatsApp messages and get your answers for you. Most of you are sending, rather calling the WhatsApp line instead of rather sending your messages. Please rather send message on the WhatsApp number. That would help us so that we can be able to join in with our conversation. Now, the areas affected, can we look at the areas? Sesame is one of them. Production team, if I can have you project that for me, I'll be very glad. Okay, so can we mention the areas? The affected areas in question here.
So have you Pediase, Insechi, Ajimanti, Brotiase, Damfa, Adoteman, Otinibi, Kote, Malizano, Adenkrebi, Abefia, Ayimensa, Kweyman, Odonko Chrome, Kojo Chrome, Otopram, Daddy Chrome, Sesame, Teman, Papano, Obojo, Mempasem, La Balaweshi.
La Bauleshi.
Bauleshi.
Yeah.
Okwegono. Amanfro. Bobamase. Abokobi.
Okay, so on the screen, affected areas that we are talking about, affected areas that the judgment affected.
Yeah, so
the villages by the decision are Pidiase, Obum, as mentioned by Eben, and then we can see Insaki, right? Insaki, is it Insakina or Insaki? No, Insaki. Okay, let's go, Ajiman, let's go. About it, let's go.
Yeah, so I think the other places are Ashaliboche, Ablekuma, Odediben, Ableshia, Mangwase, Teshi, Peshi Ridge.
Peshi Ridge.
Yes.
That is the area that I live. Those are military lands.
Madina, Adenta, Abuba, Ashoman, all those areas, Frafraha, all those areas are also affected.
Okay, so production team, if you are just joining us, kindly, if you are not part here, let's go on social media, Facebook, my CTVGH, so that you can see this very clear on the screen. And then team will also put in the Superior Court of Judicature, the Supreme Court, that's sitting on Accra Tuesday, 14th day of November 2023. Yeah, a lawyers know in sometimes contempt of court. But once this judgment has been passed, of course, we have the right to discuss it across. That is why we are discussing it. Though we don't have a lawyer here today due to their tight schedules, of course, for the purpose of our audience and for the purpose of we at CTV and at Sudan giving you good information and up-to-date information. That is why we are doing this, so that we can also wrap up the year easily. So that if you are spending your Christmas money for the chicken and the rice and the parties and the beyond the return activities, you know that there's a judgment that has been passed. If your land is affected, start putting money down for regularization. So let's go through once again the affected areas so that those who were just joining us would be aware about what is going on in the country, as somebody say country, what is going on in the country. So the areas affected, even Ayi Mensa, part of Ayi Mensa, not the whole of Ayi Mensa, right? Part of Ayi Mensa. 72,000 acres. If
Pediase is affected,
then
how much more Ayi Mensa?
Samu. And Sesame, people are selling this Bokobi Sesame land. Those areas are. Wow, but even there are real estate companies who get court judgment before passing, before like selling their land. So it means that they all didn't do their due diligence or what?
No, I don't think this is more of due diligence. Though at the normal circumstance, if you want to buy a land, one of the areas you should do a search is the court. But it's like this is a big challenge in Accra here. When you go to Kumasi, all land records pass through the Otunfo land secretariat. But here, you realize two families will be fighting over a land. Today is for this person. 10 years time is for that person. Then, so I wouldn't be surprised if there is another review of this judgment. I wouldn't be surprised. Ghana near one. So, though probably if a search is done at the courts.
All these informations, as at that time, was true. So, of course, they wouldn't have been able to do much about it here.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, one thing I like about Otunfo, let me give the comment to him. Otunfo, Nana, as the Ashanti, you would say, Nana, Nana, Dia was say, Unton and Samaran, and Anameba. Nana, one thing I love about Otunfo is that he is able to handle commercial land issues very well.
Yeah.
If you go and buy a land through any chief, and the chief has not handled you well, has resold it to anybody, if you go to Otunfo's palace, you will be handled well. And he will make sure that he will call that Nana to order. There's one video that was circulating on social media, which I recommend him so much. Nana, you are doing so well. And I hope the rest of the chiefs in the part of the capital also learn from the same activity. Now, what does this mean to the real estate sector? We have agents, we have brokers, we have developers, we have investors, we have individuals. What does this mean? to the real estate sector? Samson.
It means a lot, but for me, I'm taking it calmly. There's no cause for alarm. Like I said, if we understand this judgment that it is just changing the ownership, who is the owner of the said lands, then we don't need to panic, okay? And so with regards to the brokers, the investors, and then everybody that matters in real estate, I think let us take our time, let us understand the ruling, let us know going forward what we are supposed to do, especially with regards to the uncompleted transactions, the ones that money has been paid, but transaction is not completed yet, because you are going to complete the transaction at a date at which the judgment has been made, or has been made by the Supreme Court. Meanwhile, monies were paid, and it wasn't illegally paid.
It was legally paid.
It was legally paid. And so this is where I will urge my colleague brokers to, come out with their professionalism tactics to handle their clients in a more professional way, so that matters will not go out of hand.
Out of hand. Because so, there's a lot of chaos.
Chaos, yes.
Now, because people are wondering, hey, assassin I say, and people are, it's creating panic.
Yes. And so, if you panic yourself, you are not going to help your client to understand the situation very well. You need not to panic. You rather need to educate them. So you need to understand it very well, and then know the steps to take. And so this is the time to get closer to the lawyers. If you don't have a lawyer, this is the best time, especially when you have clients in these areas, you have properties in these areas, you have investors who have invested in these areas. This is the time you need to get closer to lawyers, so that they will explain the nitty-gritty of this whole thing to you, so that you execute your, should I use mandate, professionally. So for me, we shouldn't panic. It is not like there is an order to go and break down properties. No, far from it. But what is going to happen is that, of course, once the new owner is coming in, he is coming in with some kind of expectations. The old owner, the former owner, the Numo Mashi family, with a shock, is also finding a way of handling it. And we are in Ghana, we understand. Money's paid to purchase a land never returns. It never returns. Okay, it never returns. And I'm sure the Supreme Court is going to be lenient on, especially if you are able, you follow the due process. You recorded every transaction very well. The process is clean, genuine. Your search was conducted. Money is paid, receipt given. Okay, SPA was done. If you have all these documents,
SPA meaning sales and purchase agreement, yes.
I'm sure if you have all these documents, it's going to be easy for you to battle these things out. When there are situations where you find yourself that the new owner is not, what word should I use? It's not understanding whatever you want to bring on the table, and the old owner is also not trying to back you. However, I think this is what I see is going to happen. But it is better knowing that this is your new owner. Try to
familiarize yourself.
Build that relationship. Start building the relationship. Don't let them come to you. When you let them come to you,
that's where they will start demolishing your properties.
Exactly. Okay, then they come with force. And now that there is a whole Supreme Court, and you see, people think that there's going to be a review. Of course, you have there's always the opportunity to review. Okay, but I think per the ruling, it was unanimous, 5 judges. And if you go for a ruling, a new 2 judges will be added to the 5.
Making 7.
Making 7. So unless there is different evidence that was not part of this, that is maybe it will change. But if it is going to be the same thing, the 5 is not going to change their mind. Okay, you go to another review, 2 is added, you get 9. Okay, and the probability that all the 4, the new 4 is going to contend to this.
Hey.
Where we are going, it's like you are going to you are likely to predict.
Yes, I mean, okay. So
yes,
let us end there. Okay, and let's deal with what we have.
Yeah.
So all that we are advising is that just familiarize yourself with the
new owners. That's all.
And then get your lawyer involved to help you understand where there are difficulties.
In land documentation, in land purchase, you want to add something? Yes.
Yeah. So what I would say is people who are currently having uncompleted transactions, they should relax and hear from what the boy stool and the related families will have for them.
Okay.
That's what I would say.
Okay.
And people, there's a clause, usually a clause in the indenture that they give for re-entry.
Okay.
And people who have not taken it into consideration, if in a worse situation, those people are likely to lose their lands. Because when they tell you that within 2 years you have to develop, and within 2 years you don't develop, and this judgment has also come,
then it means that it affects you thoroughly.
Exactly, because you've not done anything
on the land to show that it belongs to you.
So even the indenture that is passing that interest to you, you have not fulfilled your part to develop within that stipulated time. So the boy family has every right to re-enter and even resell the land if you want it.
All right. On this note, we are opening phone lines. Production team, please put the phone lines below the screen so that as soon as Vice President finishes talking, we can be able to pick phone calls.
And you asked of the effects.
Effects, yes. On the real estate.
Cost of ownership of land is going to increase because regularization wouldn't come free.
No. You have to send SNAP.
You
have to send SNAP. you know the thing, right?
The boys to secretariat wouldn't sit all day regularizing lands just for nothing.
No. They spent a lot of money at court.
Yes.
Of course, it comes with a cost.
And even the people, the staff or the workforce to do this regularization, going through the document and making sure we get you a new indenture and other things, they are all people that need to be paid. So it's not going to come free. So cost of, maybe if you bought the land at maybe 10,000 cedis and you've registered or maybe whatever you have done on it and you are going to regularize, you are going to pay some extra money in addition to the price of the land that you bought it. So that is going to increase the cost of ownership. And in this dispensation, our lawyers are also going to get a lot of work.
Yes.
Because people who don't understand what is happening
would have to come for explanation.
You have to go consult your lawyer. And consulting a lawyer too is not also free.
That is why I always say, but in every land transaction, always try as possible best and involve a lawyer. 15 minutes for phone calls and then for WhatsApp messages. So take the opportunity now. Let me read one WhatsApp message that has just come in. Good evening, please. I bought a land. Upon applying for the land title, I was told that I will be issued with a provisional title because 4 people have interest on that same land. And by 12 years, if they are not able to provide their document, I should come for the complete title. Please, what does this mean?
Should I go?
Yes, Mr.
Okay, so I think, which area? Is it?
Using state.
We need to know the area because if it is part of this 72,000 acres, then we know what to say. But for what he was told, I think it is the reason for the temporary title certificates. Because when you are giving provisional title certificate, then it means there is an issue pending.
Pending.
Okay.
So
he's been told that about 4 people have interest.
Interest in the same
What
land.
it means is that they've also submitted their document.
Okay.
And there is issue they need to
resolve. Thank you. Let me pick my first caller. Hello, good afternoon. Hello, good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, madam.
Please, how are you doing?
Thanks.
Please, your name and where you are calling us from.
I'm Mike, calling from Tema.
You are calling from Teman,
Yeah.
one of the affected areas.
Tema.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
please.
All right, let's hear you.
I like your program, but fortunately, we don't have lawyer there to give her the intro of what is going on.
Yes.
That's a bit sad.
Don't worry. God willing, in the next
like
subsequent.
Our own opinion.
Yes. In the next subsequent episodes, we will bring the lawyers here. You know, it's not easy to bring them here. They also have their tight schedules to attend to. So some of these issues, as soon as they pop up, you have to talk about it because you have to get information from this very show. Yes.
You were saying something about you should consult a lawyer. Assuming the person has even consulted a lawyer and everything is clean. I mean, from that 20 years ago to today. So to me, I think land in Accra, you just buy it and think anything can happen at any time. Just get your open-minded because you don't know. You can buy land today after 20 years. Somebody will come that belongs to him. Madam, you get me?
I get you.
So so land in Accra is like look to this and if you are in for real, then you thank God. If nothing happens, you thank God. Yeah. Because you don't know who is the owner for now. Yeah. People can go to appeal and things can change or things might not change. Yeah. After 15 years, they might go to appeal. So, well, that's what I can say. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for watching us. Thank you so much for watching us. The phone lines are still open, so please call us with your questions, your thoughts, and your contributions towards the show. Or log on to Facebook, MyCTVGH. Drop your comments there so that we can be able to answer your questions for you. Phone lines still open. Please call us through. Okay, so do I have a WhatsApp message? No? Okay, so let me go to Facebook and see. I had a land in this affected area. And now I am even very confused. Let me pick this caller. Hello, good afternoon. Hello. 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 I think we can hardly hear our second caller. We can hardly hear you. If you're watching us, please call us again so that we can get to hear you very loud and clear. Discussing in the studio is the court ruling last Tuesday against the Numo Mashi family. Hello, good afternoon. I think we can family here at second caller. Hello. 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 Okay, production team, if you can help me with that, I'll be very glad. I'll be very glad with that. It seems some of our callers are finding it difficult to contribute to the show. If you are just joining us, we are talking about the court ruling against the Numo Mashi family. The affected areas we mentioned, and along the production time, if we are not too much out of time, we are going to project it on the screen for you to be able to know the areas. If you have a land there, just be aware. Hello? Hello? Okay, all right. Now discussion. Can I see the affected areas? Yes, we are going to project the affected areas on the screen. Production team, hello? Hello? We seem to have challenges with the phone lines. If it's not connecting, let's go to WhatsApp. Hello? Hello? Information I'm hearing from my production team, please lower the volume on your TV set. That is the reason why they are actually disconnecting most of the calls.
Good evening.
Hello, good evening. How are you?
Please, I'm Richard calling from Takrady.
You are Richard calling from Takrady. Let's hear
Hello,
you, Richard.
good evening.
Yes, Richard, let's hear you.
Yeah, I'm Richard calling from Takrady.
Let's hear you, Richard.
Yes, please. Thank you. It's a nice topic, and thank you very much, as I said earlier. But your heading now discussing is very big. I hardly can see the main one. Kindly highlight it for me.
Okay, so watch the show through. We'll put the court ruling on the screen.
Yes.
It is now time for phone in. We can put the topic there. Thank you so much for calling. All right. Production team, please help me with the court ruling and the affected areas so that those who are just joining us would understand what we are discussing. Like I always say, always tune in on time, because if you tune in the middle or get into the end of the program, there are so many answers that we have to give that we can't go back to where we started. Hello?
Evening.
Hello, good evening. Hello, good evening.
Hello.
Hello, good evening. How are you?
I'm fine.
Your name and where you're calling us from?
My name is Laura.
Okay.
Calling from who?
Calling from who?
Right or here?
I can see you are trying to hear yourself from the TV. Please lower the volume on your TV set for me.
Okay.
Yes. Let's hear you now. All right. For your announcements, kindly when you call us, try and lower the volume on your TV set for us, because trying to hear yourself talking whilst watching yourself will not do us a big service here. It rather distract the conversation. So please take notice. Anytime you're calling us, please do that for us. Hello? Hello? Hello?
Good evening.
Good evening. How are you?
I'm calling from Teshi Okwegon.
You are calling from?
Teshi Okwegon.
Teshi Okwegon. Ma'am, let's hear you.
Please, I'm just listening to your message on the TV.
Yes, please.
Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
Please, are you listening to me?
I'm listening to you well, loud and clear.
Very good. Thank you. But I didn't start with you.
Okay.
I just made the middle part of it. And I'm just around Okwegon.
Okay.
So, how can we know much about this thing?
Please watch the screen. Every information is right on the TV screen. And then when we are done with the program, please go to
my
Facebook.
House is at Okwegon.
Yes. When we are done with the program, please do us a favor. Go to Facebook, my CTVGH, and then watch the whole program from the beginning. Is that okay?
We'll call another number.
No, please. Production team, can we flip on to the next caller? Thank you. Our time is up and we need to wrap up here. Kind courtesy of those just joining us, everything is projected on the screen. So please read loud and clear. If you don't understand, our WhatsApp numbers are below the screen. You can send us a message so that we can be able to get to you and explain further. I would also advise that anytime is Sunday, please do well and join us early, because this is not a political show. This is not a lifestyle show where we would have to go back explaining and other things. This is an educative show. So once we start and you are not there, the informations are gone. Hello? All right. If I have a last caller to pick, let me do. If not, let me go on WhatsApp. Yes. Okay. So let me go to. Okay. So let me try and pick this last caller. Yes. Let me try and pick this last caller. Hello.
Yeah. Hello.
Hello.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, please. How are you?
If not, let me go on WhatsApp. Yes. Okay. So
Hello. I'm listening to you.
Hello.
I'm listening to you.
Yes. Let me try to pick this last caller. Hello.
Yeah.
All right, production team, let's flip the call. It seems most of the callers are trying to listen to themselves calling us, which is also not helping us. I don't understand this. So how can one family own 72,000 acres of land? How? That is a comment coming from one of our viewers on WhatsApp. Let me go through WhatsApp if we have other messages. I also don't understand why the old family had title. Yes, you will not understand. For land matters, you will not understand. Until the right things are done, then that is when you understand. Law na nkasa na nyina egusu esia de bia no enioma eba foforo saa ukokot de bia enema foforo bado. We have constitution, but there's always amendments based on the court judgment and other things that pop up. So yes, so it becomes a judicial precedent, yes, where lawyers and courts will sit on such to judge other cases. So some of these things you won't understand, but that is Ghana for you and that is law for you. I have few minutes to wrap up. Mr. Anson, Engineer Anson, any advice you have to give? Please, those calling us, you're dropping phone lines, and WhatsApp messages it's okay for us. Don't call us because we've dropped the phone lines. We gave you the opportunity to call and you didn't. Engineer.
Yes, so like I have said earlier, there's no, we shouldn't panic over this. Let us calm down. I mean, the era we find ourselves, if you panic, you are going to die to leave the property. I mean, don't panic. Now, this is also a wake-up call for estate developers, estate brokers, investors, and those seeking to purchase properties. Now, this is what I see. All those who went through the legitimate means to acquire properties in these affected areas, I mean, you are protected, you are safe. Even if you have to go through the regularization, it means that you went through the due diligence. You did your due diligence and went through the process, the right process. Now, if you have a property in this affected area without going through the right process and you have not registered, this is where you have a problem. And this is why I say it is a wake-up call. All the education and the sensitization we've been doing since last year, this is what we want you to avoid. And going forward, I mean, let us continue to do the right thing, because these land issues, there are more to come.
There are more to come.
There are more to come. And you see, this Numo Mashi family themselves, they also have a lot of headache to carry.
Yeah.
Because what is going to happen is that all the places they are occupying with their family, their personal houses, all these places are affected. Okay? And what normally happens is that because they think it is our properties, they don't normally go through the registration process. So it's going to be interesting. Okay, and so it is a wake-up call that every transaction, if you are a broker, you are an agent, don't be just agent, don't be just a broker. Continue
be a consultant.
Good.
Be a consultant. That is what we always advise. Be a consultant.
Continue to learn and understand your work properly so that you can also be able to advise your client to do the right thing, so that anytime there are issues of such nature, you are well protected. And if you didn't inform your client very well, now you are exposed because things have come in a different direction, and your client is going to know now that you are not a professional.
Yeah.
Let's work professionally.
That's a sad aspect.
Yeah.
Okay, so what I would say is, way back 1986, about 57 years now, that this issue has been back and forth.
Back and forth.
One winning a judgment, going for appeal, winning, going for appeal, and finally we've seen the outcome by the Supreme Court. So what it means is that all ground rents now would have to go to the boys too, and not to the Mashi, the Numo Mashi family.
Yeah.
And what I would conclude is we shouldn't be in a haste to buy land, especially in Accra.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be in a haste. Make sure you do the due diligence. Make sure you do all the paperwork. When you secure the interest, the indenture, proceed to the Lands Commission. Because when the government wanted to pay the compensation, it was a matter of who owns the land. Was it to the Brekusu family chief or to the Numo Mashi? So that's where these things started coming up. Then we started to know where their boundaries are.
Okay.
So if you have the right document or the proper title, you are secured to some extent, because in a worse situation, court has ruled that in the past the land, when you go to the Lands Commission, all searches will show that it belongs to the Numo Mashi family. And now that they are going to expunge all titles given to them, we are aware that most people did not even acquire their land straight from the Numo Mashi family.
Yes.
It may be like
Third party, second party.
Bought it from Numa Mashi. Adwa Mansa passed it on to, because from 57 years time, we realized that it may be a long chain.
A long chain, yeah.
So just trace to the head lease in your indenture. And find, you can locate where the boys to secretariat is, their land secretariat is, and go and do more inquiry. We wouldn't be here thinking for them. They may have their own procedures and regulations that they would want to.
Where can we find, our time is up, where can we find you if you're looking for you?
As usual, I'm at East Legon here. East Legon, Shiashi. My office is at the Zion House.
East Legon, landlord.
And if you want to reach me, I'm a real estate consultant. I do property valuation, land sales, rentals, and architectural drawings, everything real estate. Just consult me.
Okay.
So if you want to reach me, 0546 034 809.
Engineer, so if you want to find you, where can you find you? I shock you.
Okay. How about Domi Born Again? That is where my office is.
Okay.
I'm also a real estate consultant,
okay.
Engineer by profession, a builder, and everything with respect to construction.
Okay.
When you enter my office, everything will be done before you finish.
Okay.
So your roof.
Okay.
So we are available for business.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. My name is Osansini Odilia, and thank you for watching today's episode of Siwudan live here on CTV. We also streamed on Facebook, so those who just joined us, please, you are late though, but you can still go to my CTVGH or Osansini Odilia on Facebook and then watch the telecast of this very program. If you have any land issue, if you have any litigation issue, if you need any lawyer to consult, or if you have any issue that is bugging your mind, if you have any real estate issue that you need consultation on, kindly consult Siwudan team for assistance. We can always help you. Our WhatsApp number is below the screen. You can reach us anytime, any day. God willing, next week, if we don't meet again before this Christmas, a Merry Christmas to all of you watching us, who have been watching us from the beginning of the show till now, and then a prosperous new year from the whole Siwudan team and CTV team. We'll see you next week, God willing.